You cannot know the A to Z of amapiano without including her.
I was just a social media girl who was just, ngithanda ama-gimmicks, social media kanje. I was in that part of my life, like benguleyo thinking le, I've always wanted to be successful. I don't want to lie, and I've always seen it in myself. I was in the potential. Things are happening.
Yeah. Born Eswatini 21 years ago, Zee Nxumalo truly found her voice in Alexandra in Gauteng, the home of Flabba and Marcus Harvey. Now, it gives us another one of one who brings us a slight sonic departure from her first EP, Zee Nxumalo from 2022. A hive of hits as a featured artist later, and shortly after dropping her second solo EP, Injaye Game, in 2024, we sit down to talk about amapiano, amaphupho, and amagama. Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Helen Herimbi-Moremi, and this is a Helen Herimbi-Moremi podcast. And today, my very first guest, I'm so excited to speak to this person because this whole podcast, this whole series is about speaking to musicians who make us go, in their music. So I'm sitting with none other than...
Zee Nxumalo.
You just do that like that now.
Mm-hmm.
How did you come up with that, and can you find one for me?
Helen. It
It's
comes
too long.
natural. Helen, hey. Hey.
I don't know if we're going to use that one, but thank you for trying. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good. I'm so excited to chat with you because you've just dropped, I think, a phenomenal EP. It's like a complete, not even a complete, but like such a departure from your previous work that I want to speak about it a little bit, but I also want to make sure that our audience gets to know a little bit about you and going back a little bit on your journey. But I think what I want to start with is it's very rare to hear someone say Eswatini to the world. I feel like I've never heard someone say that. We have Manana, and we have, who else is from Eswatini?
Zee Nxumalo.
Yes, and who else?
Uncle Waffles.
And Uncle Waffles, yeah. So it's just like the three of you guys who were born there who are like, that's amazing. So for people who don't know, right, you grew up in KZN, right?
Not even.
Tell me.
Joburg.
So you went from Eswatini straight to Jozi?
So it's always been a Swatini Jozi. I've got no history KZN at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one.
But a lot of
in
your
my family
music
is KZN
vibes.
Yeah. Sure.
Why is that?
I don't know. I think ngikhule ngine best friend yomzulu. Kwanele hadebe. She was Zulu, so I think, and I used to chill with her a lot. So mhlambe ngi-adapte nemikhuba yakhe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I think one thing that people definitely want to know is umlayeza wakho to Bab Cyril. Did it land? Did it arrive? Did he hear it?
Hopefully he did.
Somebody tell Cyril that he better step the fuck up. Tell him I said so.
Bab Cyril mina ngizanga ngokulwa mara ubuvusi uthi sikutshela ukuthi you the fuck up. Usho njalo akusiyimi uvusi ushilo athi you the fuck. I trust he did.
You know what's interesting to me? Like, I didn't even know, I didn't connect the dots. Like, I knew that video, obviously, right? But I didn't connect the dots that it was you until like much later. So when you made that video, were you already making music?
No, I wasn't. I was just a social media girl who was just, ngithanda ama-gimmicks, social media kanje. And then I did the fuck up.
See, it still makes me laugh till this day. Because it's funny. So now do you have to like watch my gimmicks? Do you have to go like, hey, I can't do too much because
Not even. Kusafana, but let me be honest with you. When I watch those videos, cringe.
Really?
I'm being insane. Why would you say, hey, no, hey, the fuck up? Like, why the hell would you do that? And, you know, the internet does not forget.
No.
So everywhere, lang hamba khona. I said, no, hey, the fuck up.
Not really. They just go, Uzima bodlela.
Yeah, of course,
You
know, I've worked hard.
Yeah.
Right? But it's always just going to be part of Zee Nxumalo. Oh, Vusithembe kwayo. Oh, and now whenever Vusithembe kwayo starts posting lama message wakhe to people, then the other day he was having a social media rant with Usizwe. Yo. Now people
That's an epic battle because they're always fighting.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Now people are starting to tag me. Zee, I went to tooman. I'm like,
I was again. That's so funny. But you know, speaking about you as an internet
sensation,
I will even take sensation, but also just the way that you said like the internet doesn't forget and how you live your life on the internet. I want to read you something that you said on the internet a while ago.
Hey, I say a lot of things.
It's not a bad thing. So this is what you said, and I have to have my phone because I'm reading it. But you were talking to camera and you were saying, "Bathi Zee bala."
Ngathi bafethu mina ngibhale. Mina ngiyaxoxa. Ngixoxa indaba. Life is crazy, eh?
Yeah, and you said you were talking to God?
Yeah.
Can you tell me, like, and also obviously context, right? People don't know what we're talking about when we say that. So can you tell me a little bit about why you decided to make that video at that time and also what it was referring to?
Lalela, I'm a freestyler. Yeah, but I do what I want to do. And hence why when my video hit a fuck up and then I wake up 3 years later, because obviously now I'm in a different mindset, different setting, everything, right? But I've just always been a person who just does whatever.
Yeah.
Right? So if it even goes on to the music, you understand? That video,
oh, really?
And let me tell you what it did to my career. Because I was about to drop my first amapiano song. Amaphupho, fezera. You don't know the song?
I know it. Why wouldn't I know it? Do you know how much Zee Nxumalo I've been listening to before I got here?
So that means you're one of those that Google before.
Yes. How do you think I found the video?
Shut up.
I was scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling.
You take your job very serious. Spotify, do the right thing. She tries. Yeah. So what happened then is that like I was literally just talking like thathi phone ngithi bafethu lana bafethu mina ngibhala mina ngiyaxoxa indaba and then ingoma yaqala lalela that video yahamba like yahamba to a point ukuthi even when we dropped that song I shot like 500k views on YouTube, you understand? And that's something that I did unintentionally.
Yeah.
So it's just always been those kind of things. And it's so crazy because on the very same video, I'm saying, mina ngifike studio bangitshela ukuthi zisicela ubhala ngathi guys, angibhali ngiya-freestyle.
Yeah.
It goes all the way to your Funk 55s. I'm a freestyle.
Yeah.
Amagia. It's a freestyle. Literally, I'm not a good songwriter also.
You like to say that, but I don't think that that's true.
I'm not.
I think you're not someone who puts pen to paper.
There's a difference.
Yes, because it's coming out of your mind. You are writing something that makes sense.
Yeah, you're a sweet girl. You're just trying to be nice. I can take that. Yeah, so ang sumuntu ofika e-studio ngibhale skete rough dance.
Yeah.
I probably say skete rough dance. Just top of the mind.
Yeah. And then that becomes a hit.
I guess.
Because that's how you roll.
Shout out, I guess.
But like, you know, what's interesting to me is I think part of the reason that video took off is because everyone's got a dream. Everyone, you know? And I think that comes through a lot in your music in general. And I'm specifically interested in why you felt like you wanted to talk to God about that song specifically.
I was in that part of my life. Like Benguleo thinking, you know. I've always wanted to be successful. I don't want to lie. And I've always seen it in myself. I was in the potential. It was just a matter of timing. Do you understand? And I think I was in that part of my life because, you know, I listened to the songs that I used to make back then. Most of them were Zee Nxumalo, Samba ngeviano. That's just me.
Yeah.
Zee Nxumalo, what. Zima, Podlela. You know, people don't even know what amagia is about what.
What is it about? We're skipping ahead, but now that we're here,
let's... correlate, so it happens a
Yes.
lot when things correlate. So mangithi namhlanje sizogiya, meaning mama namhlanje sizo celebrate le party yamandiya. Have you ever been to a party yamandiya ukuthi like kumnandi?
It's festive.
It's a festive season. We are celebrating.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah. So I'm basically just saying mama namhlanje kuzoba mnandi because izinto seziyakhanya. And that's how I felt like when I was at that studio camp Sakatukzin.
Yeah.
No man, izinto things are happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so then say mama namhlanje sizogiya ipati yamandiya. Yeah, mama shit namhlanje ngishintsha like ungasawari ziphelile inkinga zakudala.
Yeah.
Things are okay. But you know what's crazy about music?
What?
Till today people don't understand what I was saying on that song. But uzo kanza bamfu bathi, hey, that song sounds like everything is gonna be okay. That song sounds like what? That song just the reassurance because obviously that's the feeling that they get.
Yeah.
It's a bit crazy,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying, Amaki?
I mean, tell me.
I'm literally saying namhlanje is okay.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't know. It's just that they have a feeling. The song sounds like
it felt like
life is gonna be okay. Whatever.
Yeah. It felt very, and I think it's just because amapiano is also dance music, so it lends itself. You're at a place that like is joyful, and you're speaking about the moment and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think, going back to you knowing that you're going to be successful, what was your dream, right? Because before you were making music, like you said, you were this internet sensation. But when you were seeing yourself, I want my dreams to come true, what was the dream?
To be quite honest with you, I didn't really have a clear picture. Yeah, but ngumuntu o territorial. Yeah, but like, I always have this thing here, when you do something, or just don't do it at all.
Okay.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, I didn't really have a clear picture that, okay, I want to attend Spotify. Hey, I want to have this amount of listeners on Spotify. I want this. But I knew for like, whatever it is that I'm going to do, like, even with school, like, mangathi manje ngiyafunda esikoleni ngangithanda ukuba ama-top achiever. But unfortunately, I just never got the number one spot.
Were you always like 2, 3?
Bro. Like,
but how crazy that now you have like number one spots on charts.
I'm not really number one. I
mean,
but it's cool.
You work with a lot.
It happens.
And like other people that you work with in the industry as well.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just always been a thing of, okay, it's fine. Maybe number one, because also Pella, there can only be one number one.
Yeah.
But I've just always been a girl where like take a thing serious. So that even when the produce, I get ufake effort, because effort is it's attractive.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So yeah, the picture was not clear, but I knew like I'm gonna be impactful.
Yeah. And you just dropped your new EP in Jaya Game. And on that EP you also have a song that lends itself to that, like having a dream and wanting your dreams to come true, which is Tolela. And I think when you were at your listening session, you were talking about like how it's very much directed to God as well, right?
Yes. But I do that a lot, eh? I have conversations on my songs actually.
But when I was listening to it, I was thinking about like, why are you saying Guti Nyam Juda? You know what I mean? Like, can you take me a little bit through that? Because it doesn't sound like, oh, thank you, God, my dreams have come true.
Yeah.
It sounds like there's a lot of pain, there's a lot of hardship.
Yeah.
And then also you're lying to God? Like, is that what you're saying?
So, like sinful. Like uNkulunkulu akuphe into athi ithathe mntanami. When uyithathe ufuna ukuyisebenzisa ngendlela zakho.
Yeah.
But into emnandi ngesikhathi samanje ukuthi I think siyabantu ahead ngengqondo.
Yeah.
Ukhona ukuzibona mawumosha. So in that song I'm basically saying ukuthi vele kona we are sinful, we do bad things times. But ungabi hard.
Yeah.
Just don't be too hard,
Yeah.
It's just basically me asking for mercy, how.
Yeah.
Like sizizoni siyaphuza siyabhema sometimes react ngendlela ezisnacks ebantwini yabo.
And then
But-
you hide that from God sometimes, right? Like
I
you think you're
know
hiding.
yeah. Obvious. And for everything kunama result.
Yeah.
So if I decide to sin right now, I will bear the result later on. So that's just me basically saying the good vele sikho abantu aba-perfect, but ungabi too hard, like because uNkulunkulu naye unokuba too hard. Yabo,
You know,
unokupunishana.
I think it's interesting that you're describing it like that. Ngoba leyo ngoma eqala with that voice note that you're doing about the guy who tried to mug you for your phone.
Yes.
And to me, it doesn't sound like umkwatele, that person. It just sounds like, hey, I did my best.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So it kind of.
It correlates. Trust me, it correlates. You know why? On that very same night, we started shooting music video from 55.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then bang drop Kingsway. I wanted to go home. Mang phuma endlini yo wafika omunye ubaba.
Oh my gosh.
Wayirhebsa ifoni wangala. Ngamlisa but I just couldn't survive. And then agcina ethatha. Yami ngicanga ukuthi ngizogijima isimo. And then in that very moment I accepted.
Yeah.
Fine, hambile.
Yeah.
Hambile. It's gone.
And you'll get others. And you have others.
I have more.
Yeah.
Even a better one. But you know what's crazy? Like I had time to I'm busy into like a sentimental value. The other day I had a dream about that phone. Phone yami.
Oh really?
Yeah. It was a purple iPhone 14 Plus. Yes, abantu mabangayithola. Ngiyayifuna leyo phone.
Usayifuna na?
Phone. It was so yazi ngikhule ngithenga amafoni kuphi?
Yeah.
Kuma DM for prices.
Oh
Facebook.
really? So now leyo wayithola khona.
No, it was my first phone from iStore.
Oh wow.
So it was very, 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 very sentimental.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was my first phone. I put my sleep.
Yeah.
Like
That's so crazy.
cash like touching sleep. Yabo melahlekile. Stop. Manje let's the DM for prices.
But maybe it just meant ukuthi omunye umuntu it's going to be a blessing to
Omunye
them.
umuntu ngefoni yami.
Yes.
Yongitshontshiwa. Ngayikhalela. Ngikhalela leyo
Mhlawumbe
phone.
kuloyo muntu uthi yo I've always wanted a purple phone.
Ngefoni yami. Ngefoni yami ngithenga cash as iPhone 14 idura njani.
I understand. I understand. But you know, speaking about how you grew up, ne?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about like when I was young, and you and I have had this conversation about like age and all of that. But like when I was young, songs like Chula Mabota were huge, right?
Absolutely.
But you were like
unborn.
Yes, like it came out 6 years before you were born, I think.
Yeah.
So for you, when you incorporate a song like Chula Mabota, which is obviously also on Injaye Game.
Yeah.
How does that even happen? Or does it just get given to you and then you write for it?
Not even. Like, hey, I'm not a writer. Please believe me, guys. And I hate it when producers come into studio. They're like, okay, Sharp, let me leave you to write. I don't write. Like, I'm fully energy. Yeah, because literally with Chula Mabota, there was a guy, his name is 2K. Why Guga Pink? He was in studio.
So that's why.
You understand? And all Les did was to play a beat. Yeah, and then I was like, put that dog, it's pink.
Yeah.
And the guy was literally sitting like right across me. And I was like, put that dog, it's pink. Now, how I make reference to Chula Mabota is fast. Like,
yeah.
I'd like to believe with me, I'm a fast thinker. Yeah, but I could be thinking about this and thinking about it and thinking about that next thing.
Yeah.
Yes, one. So in the like when I'm singing about put that dog, it's pink. I'm actually thinking about the family. I'm cosmeling Alex.
Okay.
Then I don't know if you also get that thing. You don't understand.
No.
Like telling Mondoko.
No, tell me because I'm interested.
Okay, let me make examples. Then maybe you'll get it right.
Okay.
So on that same evening, I was meant to go back home at Alex Ugokwam, and then Mangtabanga Ugokwam I don't know if you understand what I mean.
Okay.
It happens a lot.
Yeah, it's like a. It's like one thought sparks another thought sparks and ngathi chain.
Yabo njengamanje ugqoke pink.
Yeah.
Mazipaka pink. Nginengoma ibizwa ngothula mabota. Ikhuluma ngobhuti esigqoke pink. Actually, my song just reached 6 times platinum. Actually, do you understand? Speaking of platinum, kunomuntu okuqeda ukuthola platinum. I don't know if you get what I'm
get
trying.
you.
Yeah.
I get you.
It happens a lot to me.
Okay.
So it was that kind of setting, like nothing deep.
Bongacabanga my Willie said, "Oh, you."
Angimazi nokuthi ubani lo. Ubani lo. Mina ngazi ugogo makajabulile uyathanda ke ukudive. There's a dance like I
That's so cute.
Yeah.
That's so cute. So that means, yeah, even songs like Abo, DJ Bongs, you really.
DJ Bongs?
Yo, how it.
Tina so babili. Oh,
Because
yes.
that's from your previous EP.
Yes. I've once sampled something like that.
Yeah.
Yabo ang mazu DJ Bongs. But
That's crazy. So then.
Wait, DJ Bongs lo kwara.
Was it something?
Kwara.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I know him.
Yeah.
I actually know him personally.
Oh, really?
Yeah, why khona masukona magi studio satukuzini, I think.
Okay.
Are you sure DJ Bongs lo kwara?
I believe so. But what I was going to say is like some of the songs that you are making right now, you are going to be someone's mawilis.
Pray to God I'm not.
Stressed. Why?
Forever young.
I hate to break it to you, but it's coming for all of us.
I know.
It's really coming for all of us. But I also want to talk about Funk 55, obviously, because we've mentioned it a little bit. But the legend that I've heard is that you weren't even supposed to be on that song.
Yep.
So how do you wind up on the song?
The Uber was outside.
So you were recording something else while you were there?
It was meant to be a soulful studio session. And then just as we were about to leave, Ule suhlali beat. Yabona lapho ngirequestile Uber ingaphandle. Yabona I like the beat. Like there was just something about that beat, man, like shout out to Shakes and Legs. Like they're good. So in about like has like piano but piano angikaze ngalizwi piano nje. And then ngiyasithanda ke mina into is different. So ngathi ngene mangena lapha. And on that day bebaphuza are we allowed to mention brands?
Sure.
Bebaphuza ama Heineken abozuzu. So ngathi ngifika so ngathi ngifika lapha e-studio sabo. Yo, but thatha girl na Heineken. You know me being a Tobile girl, deep down in my heart I'm like, yo labo puta bangiboni Heineken.
Because that's why you're saying like Ace of Spades. Oh no. Now do you believe that I listen to your music?
You do for real. So deep down in my heart, I kept on saying like, no Ace of Spades, no more way. Heineken.
You know what's funny about that? That the song makes it seem like you want to be the type of girl who drinks Heineken. So other people also listen to the song and then go, we are drinking that beer.
Music is meant to be interpreted in whatever way that you feel like you want to interpret it. Because I mean, when I got there, I got that kasi feeling with it's not even Msotra, it's in the south. Yeah, but to me it felt like no. Msotra for real.
And then you also speak about Msotra, Sosha, Mtogi Rosmoda, all of that.
Yes.
And for me, like that's really dope. Yeah.
That's exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
So there was no one who was wearing a Rosmoda. There was no one who was talking about Sosha Nguve. But immediately, that will translate to that. That will translate to that. Hence the lyrics, Anabo, Rosmoda. Meaning Sosha.
Yeah.
I hope you really get what I'm trying.
I do.
I feel like you're just saying
no, it feels
but deep down you're like
I'm not going no. I really get what you're saying because it feels like a chain reaction. Your mind is just always going. And I think that's dope. But what I also think is dope is like those things are very like South African, you know. So when I was growing up, it was always Asimo Statesimo. And for you, I feel like in your music, a lot of the time, it's very clear that it's like, I mean, you're Swati and South African.
Yes.
So it always feels like you're
very
Africa
African,
first.
Of course.
Yeah, so that's intentional for you?
I think it's not intentional as per se, but I think I represent where I come from a lot.
Yeah.
Obviously, I come from the hood. So Africanness will obviously by default izobonakala kimi. So it's not even a thing of I wake up in the morning then I'm proud South African, proud Africa. It's just ngilento like ungangibuka bese ukhona ukungicalculate ukuthi lo khulele endaweni kanjena kanje because I'm just exactly ngendlela engikhule ngakhona. So it's not even an intentional thing. I don't want to.
Yeah.
It's dope that people look at it and they're like, oh, so cool. It represents. But I do it effortlessly because also ngiyimi. Ngiyenza
Yeah.
lento engikhule ngayo.
Yeah.
Cula ngabota ngayizicula ugogo wami. Then ngafika ngayicula studio.
Yeah.
But it's not intentional.
I was going to ask you about this, but I do think it's also fascinating. Ukuthi, both you and Babi Cooper, who is on Tula Mabota, you guys have such phenomenal voices.
Yeah.
But it's almost like, like, what is that about?
Well, on my side, Martin, it takes a special setting for me to sing. You know, it takes a special emotion for me to really sing. But otherwise, like ngoma condemn. Also, I'm young, yabo. So you must know what's nasengqondweni, like yeah, so it takes special emotions for me to tap into that zone of singing.
I know, I've heard you.
Yeah, but it takes a lot. And what's nice, what's like abantu appreciate njengoba. Yeah, but one thing I've noticed though is that people are really, really, really falling in love with the
Yeah.
Ngaqala ngithi ngiba deep, but motivational speaker. I'll snake. Yeah.
Speaking of which, actually, there's a way that you start amakia and the way that you start drip juluga.
Yeah.
Actually, it's just called drip juluga. I mustn't put an extra drip on it.
I mean, it's drippy, so why not?
So were you like intentional about that? And like,
How do I
please just ula lelin. And then drip juluga is the same. You sing it differently, but it's the same thing that you're
format,
saying. Yes. Also, kumbul.
Give honest, shooting ngisuke ngiphelelwa ama lyrics. Shooting ngisuke ngiphelelwa ama lyrics. And I get what you mean. Ngisuke ngicabanga phela manje. Yo.
What you gonna say?
And you wanna one thing about me, mangacala ngenza bo ay.
Ay, for real.
Sothini manje. Yabo, because even with Funk 55 ukucela bo ay. It's so straight angina. Ay. So I think ngisuke ngiphelela ama lyrics.
Okay, I mean, okay, I guess I won't ask you about those lyrics, but this is the second time, Good Drip Juluga, that you're working with Zulum Katini, right?
Yeah.
So what is that energy like when you guys are working together? And the reason I asked that specifically is, we didn't speak about it, but I know initially you were doing a lot of Afro pop, you were doing a different type of sound,
music,
and then like you became like, you know, this phenomenon in amapiano. And for him also, he started as a rapper.
Yes.
And now I'm not sure what he would call what he does right now, but I feel like you guys have those parallels. So what is it like when you guys are working together?
It's something, the chemistry actually.
Oh yeah.
It's very dope. I don't know if you're asking Shy Mota. So I'm so repetitive with my words, but they're catchy words and they make the money.
That's how you make the hits.
They make the money. So mina ngafika studio na Uzulum Katini wati, okay, like I literally was like Shy Mota, and then that's okay. Before Shy Mota, this is what we can do. Askipi follow let's only passes notes. You know, monga uza my lyrics are deep. You must know how he had no contribution now.
It was Zulu. It wasn't Zee.
Shoot gune assistant. Monga uza except for Kolela shame. It was from the heart.
Yeah.
But monga uza njangata my lyrics context. You must know good about
That's so crazy that you would say that.
Yeah. So with thingy Shy Moto, Uzulu was helping me write. And then I'm just the one that was like, Shy Moto. And so, you know, she like, keep follow, let's pass. He's got words, he's got like, he's got a lot to say. But the chemistry is really, really, really dope. And also, rap history. Labo bantu ke bayathanda ukuspitha. So yeah.
Which is also interesting because you, on Drip Juluga, you have people who are rapping on what sounds like a drum beat. So tell me a little bit about that.
So with the Drip Juluga, you know, I've always wanted to be a rapper.
Oh?
Nga rapper mean.
Oh, really?
For real.
Why in Zingoma?
I
Like,
failed.
that are out there in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Really? What was your rap name so I can go look you up?
So I'm not gonna do that.
I know your people. I can ask them. So just tell me.
Then find out yourself. And if I say it now, that's just me giving it away.
Yeah, don't
So
do
at least
it.
make the
Don't do it.
efforts to
Okay.
bring it down.
I will.
Yabo, bengangrepha ne but azange phasa indaba khona yabona. So I've got a love for hip hop, actually, for hip hop culture, hip hop rap, but I just couldn't be a rapper.
Yeah.
Because maybe I wasn't good, maybe I was black, I don't know. But with Trip Jula, I can make a calm song.
Yeah.
And one way, and also Injai game is also infusion of genres, and you know how versatile I can go as an artist. You understand? So I just wanted to showcase that about myself. Which actually, I'm a versatile artist, like me musician.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have the right to call myself a musician. Yeah, so ngabiza abantu abaraphayo.
Yeah.
Ukuthi baze bazorapha kuphi? Boom.
Okay, and it worked out. Like, sounds awesome.
Clean.
Yeah.
They did what they did. And then I also did what I did. Guga. Yeah.
You were just speaking about the title of your EP, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Mina, when I think about Izinja,
Yeah.
I think about Mapaputi. I think about Boza, you know, Boza from Squatter Camp. I
know Slicker from Squatter Camp.
Okay, but there's also Boza, and he, I think, had an album called Injaya Game.
Really?
No, Injaya Corner, not Injaya Game.
Okay.
His is called Injaya Corner. Tebe is the top dog.
Tebe Linyora, yes, my mom loves Tebe Linyora.
Yes, yeah. And you are now joining, and I mean, even Injaya Muslik, right? When you bring it to rap, right? So you're joining that league of people who are very clear which they run things. People who are very clear that they are the top dogs of their game. So talk to me a little bit about that title.
Okay, in a literal meaning, mina ngiyasaba izinja. No, for real, ngiyasaba.
Really?
You know, when I was shooting that album cover, that was the first time ever in my entire 21 years of experience ngihlangana that close to a dog. Like,
why usaba?
Terrified. I think it's a phobia. You call it phobia, isn't it? What is it called?
I don't know. We're gonna look it up. I'll put it on the screen.
Yeah, that was the first time ever. Yeah, you know, when I was doing that EP, the EP cover, that was the first time ever getting that close to a dog. Like, when I got here, no cat, no dog.
That's crazy.
Terrified. And can people not use that against me? You know, immediately I'm scared of this. Then the next thing, I'm a prank. Like, don't do those things. They're not cool. Okay. Like,
I don't think anyone will do that to you.
They shouldn't. So I'm terrified, super terrified of dogs. And that's how it felt like when I got into this game, you understand? Like, my manager will tell you, a move are big, and I'd be like, nah, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Now the crowd is gonna die. Because first of all, the crowd doesn't even know who I am.
Yeah.
What. But I had to learn on the spot. I remember when I was doing an EFF gig, I perform after share shit in my pen.
Oh. And were you nervous?
But you know what's nice? 55 was still on, and Jula had just tweeted about me. But so there was still the hype. But you know, in my mind, I was like, Maratulani, how can you do this? What. And then they were like, Lalela, like, you're here for a reason. Yabo, masa sinibheka kanje, asinibheki ngokuthi hayi lo umafikizolo lo na wenzani niyafana. And nizomele, like, it's a survival of the fittest. If unuzibona ngathi umncane uzoba mncane forever. Yabona hayi ngafika lapha lalela, we fought. Obviously I didn't get a shebe reaction, but that taught me a lot of things, yabo. Mele ungene, because awungena ngechance, awungena because ama-artist aphelile, kushoda ama-artist or whatever. Ungena because they actually called you. And when they planned that schedule, to them it made sense. I don't know how it made sense for me to perform after Shebe, but it made sense for them. You understand? And even when they do, I'm a poster. balifaka igama lakho le phezulu. So that means, do you understand? Awufika ngalaphana because maybe baphelelwa ama-option or whatever. Kumele ube khona. Do you understand? So yeah, like it's always been a journey. I don't wanna lie. Mina mangifika kule industry like ngisaba into eziningi.
Yeah.
It's like why like yini le nibonayo kimi le mina ngingayiboni. Obvious. And it's just insecurities being loud. Because, you know, I'll say to you, I've always known that I was going to be a big dog. Then when the time comes, I'm like, yeah, Sam,
like,
you understand what that's crazy.
Dog.
How Kelly, but you know, when you look at yourself on the mirror with me now, pause.
Yeah.
Then when it's time to prove pause, it's like a
You know what I don't want in life?
What?
It's a woman-to-woman conversation.
Huh?
Angifuni indaba yokuthi umuntu akufonele athi umamncane. So that song specifically is you, Kabza the Small, I'm gonna miss other people, so
Shakes
you
and
can...
Les.
And Shakes and Les.
Sly.
Is that everyone?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's called Ucingo, right?
Yeah.
Dililing, dililing.
Hi.
So tell me about that song, because it specifically sounds like someone is calling you to say, I am with your man. He hasn't been around in a while. The kids are hungry. And he's also asking you, how did you get into his phone?
So, you know, as females, you know, I don't know about you, but as females, you always have that urge to be like, let me open this phone. Let me check. Just to test the waters. Right. So the song is about a lady that opened the phone. The next thing, a call.
Yeah.
Hi. It was a young girl. So I'm very much descriptive on that song, on like the fact that the girl was a young girl and why very confident.
Yeah.
Imagine. My 2000. Yeah, but so yeah, it's pretty much about that. It's a storytelling song, and I had so much fun writing that song. I don't wanna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially because I can't relate.
Yeah.
You know, it happens.
I mean, good for you.
When you're young and fresh. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. I've never been in that kind of situation.
May it never happen to you.
Yes. So yeah, but yeah, it's just me telling a story. It's like, this is how things happened. The girl was very young. And then the guy comes back and says, but how did you open the phone?
Fingerprint.
Imagine you just found out to carry a cheat, and then the first thing he says is, when I walk the phone in there.
So you must throw them away, all of them.
Viva.
Okay, I think that's where we'll end that part. But thank you so much for coming to see me. I know it took forever, but I really appreciate it.
Shout outs.